And we are back with Ayaan Hirsi Ali, the author of Nomad, and Irshad Manji of the Ijtihad Project. Ayaan, you in this book consider yourself a success for having made this journey from Islam to America, but your family considers you a failure. Do they consider you a failure because you have rejected Islam or because you have come to America?
They consider me a failure because I've rejected Islam, and in my father's view, my mother's view, my brother and my half-sister's views, I risk hell. They think that I'm a failure because my hereafter is bankrupt. I haven't invested in it. I've invested on life on earth. And I think that is the main difference, in my view, between Islam and America. The creed of America is life now, invest now here on this earth. Lengthen your life as much as you can. Stay as healthy as you possibly can. Recreate, reproduce, produce, consume. It's all about here. Islam is all about when we die, we're going to stand before God and He's going to judge us. And life as we live it now is simply a test.
Now, how is this different, though, from, devout Christianity, which has always had a very elaborate conception of hell and purgatory and the hellfires of damnation?
Yeah. Well, what happened to Christianity, as you know, is it has gone through this long process, centuries long, where it was challenged from the inside and also from the outside. And it's something that Islam has missed out on. And there is something about Christianity, such as the acceptance of a hierarchy, whether it's a church hierarchy or a community hierarchy, which in Islam, anyone can just say, I'm a better Muslim than you are. This is what Scripture says.
Right.
And so then you have a constant...
It's odd in that it's the democratic or egalitarian nature of Islam that actually has promoted radicalism, because Osama bin Laden is a layperson, but he can issue pronouncements that are seen as the equal of the Grand Mufti of the Mosque of Al-Azhar in Cairo.
Yeah. I mean, look at someone like Anwar al-Awlaki. What education has he got? What kind of a clergyman? Anwar al-Awlaki is an American citizen who is now hiding in Yemen, who has inspired men like Faisal Shahzad, the guy who tried to blow up Times Square, Nidal Malik Hassan, the major in the American military, who's an American citizen who killed Americans. These are guys who read the Quran and read the Hadith and then think that they are professional enough to tell other Muslims what they can do and what they can't do, what is right and what is wrong. And that is, in Nomad, the reason why I came to the conclusion, perhaps it's better for Muslims to move away from Islam altogether and seek a different source of morality. Those who want a God should forsake Allah and find a God like Jesus Christ. I'm not a Christian, but Christ, as He has evolved in the concept of the people who believe in Him, has become this cuddly God who's all about love and paternity. And I think maybe for those Muslims, especially those who are seeking a better life coming to America, perhaps it's better for them not to just leave their home behind, but also their God behind.
Wow, where to begin? Islam began as a religion of justice, but it has since become corrupted into an ideology of fear. And it's not America, and it's not Israel that has done the corrupting. It is we Muslims who have, and therefore only we Muslims who can lead the effort to fix the problem. And Fareed, you know as well as I do, plenty of people use statements like this to say she is anti-Islam. Well, in that case, the Quran must be anti-Islam too, because it clearly states God does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. This is a call to take personal responsibility without abandoning faith, no matter who's offended.
See, what strikes me about your call, Ayaan, is what is the chance that by telling 1 billion Muslims, by the way, your religion is all screwed up, and what you should really do is abandon it, and that's the path of true salvation. They're going to go and say, damn, why didn't I think of that? So, what it suggests is, if you're trying to say something provocative to bring attention to yourself, that's one thing, but are you really trying to reform the faith?
I don't think that we should lock 1.57 billion people in the world in a book that was written in the 7th century in a moral guide that we say existed in the 7th century. Since then, humanity has evolved. More ideas have come on the counter that have been tested and tried. Why exclude Muslims from the values of liberal democracy?
But this
Why,
is,
Irshad?
Well, hold on a second. I think that's
Why
actually...
lock them up in a book?
But that's the point. It's not locking us up. And you know, my worry, my risk, or rather the worry that I have for you is that you risk minimizing the possibility that faithful Muslims can also be reformers. What ultimately worries me is that when you talk about, you know, Christianity being a reformed religion, remember that it took, as you rightly pointed out earlier, a long time for it to get there. But if Martin Luther's predecessors had fallen for the kind of pessimism that you're talking about, they probably wouldn't have even tried and laid the seedbed for Martin Luther's ideas to then blossom.
In those days, they were probably told the Christians to convert to Islam, which by those standards was a progressive religion.
Well, they were being taught to convert to reason, or at least make use of science, reason. People were learning and people were experimenting, and that has inspired me more than anything else. Why not look at science, rational humanism, Christianity,
but you're saying, but
Judaism,
no, but you're saying
some
the exact,
other idea.
But Ayaan, you're saying the exact
Why look for answers
opposite.
only in the Quran?
No, I'm not only for answers in the Quran, but you are saying that there are absolutely no answers in the Quran. In fact, I think that the dogma is there, not certainly in the kind of Islam that I'm talking about.
I read the Quran, and I don't like the things I find in there.
Okay, then you reject it, and that's entirely your right. Welcome to a pluralistic Islam.
Thank you.
But here's, no, I don't mean that in any kind of a condescending way. You know that I defend your right to leave. But I am absolutely passionate about my responsibility to stay, because if I was to walk away, at this point, it would feel like running away.
I think what Irshad is saying is, do you want to work through that, or do you want to tell people, look, this is all bunkum anyway, just cast it
Which
aside.
won't win too many Muslims over.
Live with the uncertainty that we have no idea why we're here and what's going to happen to us after we leave, which I imagine is what you believe.
I again say, it's not one strategy. I agree with your strategy and with yours, and let's talk, let's persuade, let's do everything we can. But why pursue only the strategy of emancipating Muslims through reforming Islam? Why not emancipate Muslims also by introducing them? It's not either or, but also by introducing them to other moral systems.
On that note, Ayaan Hirsi Ali, Irshad Manji, thank you very much, and we will be back.